boy.
Fuck back.
It's been quite a day. Quite a day.
We've been talking about it for a while. Talking about our predictions and shit.
And the day is here.
We're fucking here. We're fucking here to
Glorious day of reckoning.
The Nintendo Direct featuring the Nintendo Switch 2 happened today as we record this. You'll probably be hearing this tomorrow or the day after or the week after, who knows.
And there was a lot in it.
There was a fucking lot.
There was a lot in it.
I'm
not going to say that in a positive or negative way, but there was a lot to discuss.
For me, mostly positive, but
mostly positive. Interesting.
I'll preface it. Well, okay. First of all, this is Memory Leak. You already know that. We're 92 episodes in. You better know that. What's your name?
My name's Benjamin Skell to Benjamin.
And my name is Geron, Shadow Strike Geron. And
yeah, I'm about to get staggered.
We're about to get fucking staggered, and then some we're gonna soul voice each other.
Don't ever say that you're gonna soul voice me.
All right, bitch. Fuck off. Get your health back.
Get your mind right.
Nintendo Switch 2. The Direct was today. We've been talking about it. You already know that. I'm gonna start real quick.
Yeah, let's
get
give
it out of the way.
High-level summary.
Let me forget the summary. I just need to say something.
Say it
before we talk about it. These prices are fucked up, and I fully admit it. I fully realize that. I'm going to pay for some of it because I'm a dumbass, but I understand ththese prices are fucked. So I'm not going to really talk about that during.
I think the prices are an interesting discussion point.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of hot takes.
Yeah, there's a lot of
prices,
wild takes, but
anywhere from piracy is moral,
stupid,
to
that's always
this
stupid.
Is politically motivated. Possible.
Maybe. That's not out of the question.
Yeah, actually. Given other things that happened today.
I mean, yeah, and considering one of the SKUs in Japan for the console, in fact.
Region locked and much cheaper.
Region locked, Japan only region locked version of the console. That is cheaper. That's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's nothing but a reaction to the world situation right now.
The world economy.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
This was, in summary, I think it was such an interesting Direct for a couple reasons.
Yeah,
one,
go ahead.
I think it is continuing the fucking pendulum swing of Nintendo. Maybe not as severely as before, where they would have a big swing and a miss, followed by a big, more conservative, like we need to reestablish ourselves, and then it's something wildly successful.
Right.
Like N64, GameCube, kind of.
Those were both kind of. Yeah, both those swings.
Commercially speaking,
they
were both kind of.
Yeah. Granted, N64 is better than GameCube, so ooh.
Yeah. But and then Wii, smashing fucking success.
Blasted.
Wii U, squirted.
Complete opposite, like utter opposite. The worst selling Nintendo console
of all time.
Of the actual home consoles. Yeah.
Switch brought it fucking back.
Crazy, wild.
Slam fucking dunk.
Complete. Yeah.
Switch 2, I think, is pulling back a little bit, and there's a couple reasons why I say that.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, so one of the here's what I'm going to say. I keep thinking in my head, the thing that keeps reverberating after the Direct is in the Wii U announcement, they mentioned specifically that it used HDMI. Like it used HDMI cords, like it was a feature.
A special thing, yeah.
And that is sticking in my head after the Switch 2 Direct.
Interesting.
Because I think they're doing a little bit of a thing now where I don't know if it's innovation-wise or tech-wise, but they're doing a combination of I think they're catering to gamers. I think they're trying to do a lot of shit like, we hear you, we're listening to you, and we're winking at you with all of these tech specs and all of these things that everyone said they wanted, all of these Nintendo... I'll give you all my money if you do this.
Catch up to this, yeah.
They did a lot of that. They're doing a lot of tech catch up, which frankly they've never been good at and they've never done well.
Sure.
Every time they chase specs and technology, they fucking fall flat on their face.
They often have a sales problem. I don't know about flat on their face, but
yeah, I might be exaggerating.
It's not. They don't have as big a step as the step that they took before it usually.
But it's an even bigger step now than it ever has been.
Yes,
Games are more expensive. Hardware is more expensive. Yeah. Everything's more expensive. Everything takes longer to develop.
Yeah.
The market is bigger and it's more saturated. There's a lot more shit you have to compete with, right?
Yeah. This is a world that has the handheld PC market now too.
Yep.
So, not that those sell amazingly well by any means.
Iwata's fucking dead now.
Yeah, Iwata's dead. That's one of the big things I was going to say.
And I think it reminds me a lot of when fucking Steve Jobs died.
Oh shit. Okay.
And they did a lot of that fucking almost ticky-tacky let's focus on our technology. Whereas Steve Jobs was so anti that.
Yeah, exactly.
He was so focused on the customer experience, focused on
iterate.
Yeah, don't just iterate. Do new shit. Yeah. Do it in different ways. Forget about the fucking behind the scenes shit. Yeah. Focus on the experience and the things the experiences, right? I don't think Nintendo's necessarily done a full swing back in the other direction.
Back that way,
but they're going that way, right? They're going in this way that coalesces and homogenizes with the other games stuff.
Yeah.
Whether we're talking about the PC handhelds like Steam Deck, whether we're talking about PS4, PS5, they're creeping back in their direction.
Right.
Which is disappointing in some ways.
In a way, I can clearly, just from seeing the lineup of people that were just talking about, talking on camera or whatever, you can see how different their leadership is now, because there are a bunch of people who I've never seen or heard of before.
Right.
Which is great. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But at the same time, you can clearly tell that, like you're saying, they were catering to quote unquote gamers, but more so the ones that you can tell people from Nintendo check what people are posting about. And there's definitely stuff in there that was a reaction to that. Granted,
dog, you give them an inch, they're gonna want the whole fucking thing.
That's one of the things I'm worried about. Where I hope they manage expectations, because this is still a handheld.
Yeah,
and it's a handheld that's getting some fucking wild shit that I didn't expect from third parties. Well,
I agree with that.
Granted, let me back up. Not stuff that I didn't expect. Stuff that
I didn't expect them to showcase.
Yeah. I believe that at least for me, seeing all those little splashes like 4K, 120 FPS, all this kind of shit, just to kind of get that out of the way.
Yeah.
I was happy. I was happy to see it. Even if it's not stuff that I'm too concerned about in the handle, I'm just glad to fucking
it's fine, right? Mm-hmm. I almost think it was expected to some degree. I don't know if they needed to give it a presence in this direct. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But I'm glad they got it out of the way too.
I think the way they did it was completely fine. But just the fact they did it at all was it's just another small little thing that I think adds up over time.
To what the
vibe shift.
The difference in the energy that they're bringing to Switch 2, and I recognize Switch 2 being clearly an iterative product.
Yeah.
It's not the common thing that they iterate so directly. This is kind of direct from Switch to Switch 2.
It's very direct. The last time it was this direct felt like probably the Super Nintendo. I don't even think the GBA was this direct.
Honestly, I don't even think the Super Nintendo, because the Super Nintendo was such a big, obvious jump, and it didn't even play the old games.
Right.
Not to mention the controller had new buttons. Super Nintendo was but there is some new stuff with this new Joy-Con. But
that I'm happy about. I'm happy about the funny Joy-Con stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm happy about the Connect button, as jank as it kind of looks. That to me is the spirit of what they need to be doing, and it felt almost a little bit like a backseat.
It certainly was a backseat, and they definitely got that game chat thing. The way they presented it was it's very soft.
It was very soft.
It was it's a thing, and
we're very non-committal.
We're doing it because the system can do it. I may or may not use it.
So let's just talk about the game chat stuff, since we're on it now. So game chat is interesting. They announced this feature where it shows that you can share your screen with 3 other people. You basically have a chat room.
Yeah,
it's Discord. It's a Discord channel.
It's literally Discord interface and everything.
It's the flipped version of Discord, where Discord is a social media platform first and a screen sharing and gaming application second. Yeah. Switch 2 obviously is a gaming application first, with some social devices second. I think strategically and long-term horizon-wise, it's absolutely the right thing to invest in.
Yeah.
I think the more they do that, the better off they're going to be. Because I think with, again, all the stuff like socially, culturally, geopolitically, establishing themselves as like the safe, innocent version of a social thing to interact with your friends.
The controlled Nintendo
version of that is actually really fucking smart. Like
even like the Nintendo Today app is just feeds you news, no Twitter posting shit. Just you can put a little stupid opinion at the bottom, like no words, just like.
And it's funny because Miyamoto is the one that shared the Today app.
Yeah.
So I think he's kind of the one that is like pushing them in that direction for these features.
Hey, I'm still here, and we're still.
And he's like, this is a good direction to go in.
Yeah.
And you can kind of feel that. Like, I don't think that was some shit that younger generations would have proposed. They probably are like, they already have Discord. They already have all these things.
Discord. Yeah. In fact, they probably would have tried to push to have Discord because the way it functions. It probably would have been like, hey, maybe we should just put Discord on the damn thing.
I thought about that, but like Discord also has its own myriad of like privacy issues.
That's true. Which is why I figure it was probably suggested.
Yeah. By the younger folks.
Which is why this exists the way it does.
Going in that direction, bringing in like more Miiverse type stuff, I think is like, that's probably going to be a future for some future like iterations of the console or new consoles. It's just continuing to expand on like the account system, the social aspect, the connectivity.
Yeah, the connectivity between your account and all of their tendrils that they're kind of putting out.
Yeah.
Considering you have to download a bunch of different separate apps.
Yeah.
And,
the camera, I actually like the way the camera is designed, even if it looks like a shit-ass
camera.
As a standing camera.
Yeah.
I've actually hated always the fact that all of Sony's cameras are like put it on top of your TV.
Yeah.
Fucking TVs are too thin for that shit now, man.
They're too thin for that shit,
and they look ugly.
And they
can't really put it away easily.
Like, you can't see what I'm doing, but it's a very unflattering way to present yourself.
I like the ideas of pretty much everything that they showed.
Yeah.
Granted, like 15 frame per second screen sharing is kind of like
that's
kind of corny that they even showed that.
Yeah, I'm impressed that they showed it.
That was ballsy to show that. Yeah,
y'all could have just said you can do it. And let everyone find out on their own. Like, this is what it looks like.
It goes back to the whole thing. It's like the ideas are there. Their technical execution has always been behind the curve. So it's like, of course, it's a shittier version of screen sharing.
Sure, yeah.
But again, like conceptually, strategically, I think it is the right move. Being able to bring in that feeling of like, we got 4 people with our Switches on our couch watching a TV show.
Yeah.
Being able to bring that into the game ecosystem.
Yeah, like on
that's
television
smart.
With your internet connection.
And that's the direction kids are going, right? They love Twitch. They love watching other people play shit.
It's Twitch and like we were saying, Discord straight up. You just have a bunch of kids playing games together.
Yeah.
Or just in the same room.
Yeah.
At the same time.
There's some things that, again, because Switch is gaming first, whereas Discord is social first, there's some things that I think it actually does do better design-wise than Discord.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I think when it comes to the actual video game part, this shit is going to be fucking hot.
Yeah.
And I'm dead.
No, it is. I mean, the games are going to be fucking fire. The things they're gonna able to create, the shit, putting this shit in Monolith Soft's hands is gonna like
be fucking buck.
You're not even gonna know what you're looking at.
Monolith Soft, since working with Nintendo, has had something that's like to this kind of level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I kind of wish they waited on Xenoblade X. I could play it on Switch too, but just waited a couple months.
Yeah, it's gonna be a paid upgrade.
Huh?
It's gonna be a paid upgrade.
Maybe they didn't say anything about it.
It's not on the free upgrade list. Let's put it that way.
It's not on the free. That's true. But who knows if it's gonna get an upgrade at all?
It was showcased in the upgrade section. There's a picture of Xenoblade Chronicles X.
In the upgrade section? I thought it was just in the compatibility section.
No. It's on the Switch 2 edition like page where they talk about the different versions of Switch 2 editions.
All right. No,
I can show it.
I'm gonna check after my phone's charged, or you can show it to me.
But I think that again they might add more shit or whatever.
Yeah.
There were some rumors that like there's gonna be different flavors, tiers of quality upgrade. It's gonna be like free upgrade. Which is some of the ones we showed. $10 upgrade, which is going to be like Zelda, Xenoblade Chronicles X, like enhanced fidelity, graphics, all that shit. And then the $20 upgrades, which is going to be like completely new content like Kirby.
No, the Kirby has the deal.
Mario Party.
Content. Mario Party has additional content.
Yeah. Which I'm generally fine with that.
I'm completely okay with paid upgrades. I don't mind. It's that initial price for some of these games is wild as shit to me, but
it is pretty fucked up.
Yeah, like I said, I don't really want to get too deep into the price right this second. I wanted to just get it out of the way that they're pretty obnoxious.
Yeah, no, it's pretty fucked up. Yeah. I think that the pricing again also makes me think about the swinging pendulum. It's like when Nintendo has a lot of momentum, they take big corporate risks.
Yeah.
They know they can get away with shit. They know they have momentum. It reminds me of when the fucking 3DS came out, and then they dropped it from $250 to $170, like immediately.
$100, yeah, and then they gave you some games.
Yeah,
I think like
I don't know what caused that. Was it just like lack of sales?
People were buying it.
Yeah,
people were buying it. Why'd you buy it when Pokemon isn't even coming out?
I think a 33% upcharge on these games for the fact that like they're the 95% of their install base is like families, like middle America families. They're not gonna fucking swallow that shit. They're gonna see that shit and be like you got a Switch at home, dog.
Yeah, no. So I've noticed. I've noticed they have not really said anything along the lines of dump your old Switch. They're trying to keep your old Switch in.
Well, they did that with 3DS too.
They did it with 3DS, but like this has integration with Switch 2.
Right.
Like you're going to be using your Switch 1 as a game sharing device from your Switch 2.
Right.
Like we'll talk about that.
For the things that are compatible.
For the things that are compatible, of course. But they we're about to get that game, the virtual game card feature on Switch 1 for the sake of using it with Switch 2.
It is. I think they should have emphasized that use case a little bit more.
They should have,
because
it's simply not clear to a lot of people, and I know people who are like afraid of it as if they're going to use the old functionality.
And no, I'm not talking about the virtual game cards. I'm talking about the game sharing.
Oh yeah,
Specifically, the example of like. You have a Switch. You have a Switch since 2017. You haven't touched it. It's now an 8-year-old device.
Yeah.
You want to get the Switch 2. They show like some person's like life going by over 8 years. They're married now. They got a kid. They hand their Switch to like their wife or their kid now. They're the Switch that they've had forever. They buy the Switch 2, and then he game shares Mario Kart to them, and they're playing a 2-player Mario Kart. It's like that's going to be
the kind of thing they could have really
that can sell it, right?
And I think they really have to, at the prices that the shit's at. In fact, mute that. At the prices that this shit is at, you really have to be like
you have to emphasize the cost cutting.
Well, you have to create a situation where the people that are buying it for their families, they're also got to be the people that are using it.
Yes,
you know what I mean. They can't just be buying it for their kids. Fuck no, that's not going to work. Everyone's got to be interested in using this, and that's pretty probably well showing people. Like they didn't show children in this presentation.
It's probably more likely now than it was 8 years ago, right? Like every generation that passes, you got more adults playing video games.
Sure, but you also, it's the same generation of people now that are like that can't afford shit.
It's true.
It's like fuck. It's
33% is a crazy,
huge
leap.
Crack up. It's like it just.
It is.
I still want to fully.
It is
get out
a
of the
bit
way.
stomach churning.
Yeah, like every time I think about, like I have to. Before I could just be like, okay, I'm gonna spend this and spend this and spend this on this thing. I know this is the
$10 upgrade would have like made some eyes roll, but like you would have kept about 95% of your player base.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that. It's.
And
especially after having gone so long without a big jump in price.
Right.
Wii U games were $60. Switch games were $60. Separate
Switch games in general were $60. Some like
some were $50.
Metroid Prime 4 Metroid Prime 1 is $40.
Donkey Kong HD, the latest Switch game, is $50.
Fucking and like I was told this is some cope by somebody in the room, but hopefully
they're not going to do this.
No. Listen. My hope is that there's some kind of voucher system. Obviously, it's not going to be like the original one was. I don't expect it to be. That's why they are like, don't think about this when it comes to Switch 2.
I mean, they also got rid of gold coins, which is like save $2.
Save a few bucks every like.
Nope, fuck that shit.
Yeah, that's
you're paying full price.
And that's gone on original Switch too.
Yeah.
My hope, rather, I shouldn't say expectation because it's not an expectation, is that if they were to do something like that, it'd obviously be like, oh, okay, now you're spending $120 for the vouchers, or 130, something like that. So now the games are 60 or 65, which I could stomach a little bit more because I was already paying that full price, and I'm probably going to get more than one game.
I feel like with the games, I'm trying to. I think the whole criticism of like it's just corporate greed is really like lazy and boring. That's a no thinking. There's no response. Critical thinking there. Like I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of like the people making these decisions and like what brought them to this.
Yeah.
Again, political, social landscape aside.
Kind of.
Part of me thinks. I was also thinking about the comment that. I forget who it was, but the president made about how like games are more expensive and take longer to make.
Yeah.
And I think they're trying to almost like bake that into the roadmap.
Sure.
Where it's like, oh, our games are going to take 33% longer to come out. We want them to last 33% longer for the users. And so the money. They're almost thinking of it as like price per longevity of the game.
Like you're investing in the experiences that you'll be having continually. You're not playing this for a month, you're playing this for
and it's almost kind of like saying like we're not going to be launching games as frequently, so the games that we do launch are going to be really high quality. We want you to pay more for that.
I absolutely when I was driving here, I was kind of thinking about things we were going to say, and I 100,000%, stupid number, but I expect there to be less games. There are going to be less games.
Which is fine.
Having the Switch library, having the original Switch library kind of covers having some cheap stuff to fill the gaps for people that might be new to this system, or people that are returning to it or whatever. But I do think like this Donkey Kong game, $70.
I'm excited. It'll be Donkey Kong game.
Yeah, that Donkey Kong game looks fucking cool. The world deformation and everything.
I'm excited for that Donkey Kong game.
I suspect that will be. There will be something about that game that makes it less of a like 15-hour platformer and more of like a 30-hour replay, or get some bonus modes that show up down the line or something. Metroid Dread got that. Mario Odyssey got that.
Yep.
A lot of different games get extra stuff. I don't mean like paid DLC.
I do wonder. I wonder if like each game that comes out is going to have just like an extended roadmap of free updates that come out.
That's just how you're supposed to pay free shit. But I suspect these games are going to have more support for a longer period because they need to kind of like just the way games are. You can't shit out games.
Right.
And I also think from seeing the visuals of some of these, despite the bump in hardware spec on the console, they're still running like the Nintendo way of doing it by like thinking a little bit smaller when it comes to certain like tech things like texture resolution and all that.
Yeah.
So they can so they can focus on the game part. Like some of these games look like Switch games but better. Like Mario Kart World. Yep. Looks like a Switch game, but now the world's interconnected and it runs at high frame rates and high resolution. But it still looks like,
and that is the Nintendo way of doing things, right? Like, it's like don't worry too much about realistic graphics. Yeah, like, don't worry too much about all that bullshit. Does it look good? Is it fun?
Visually, yeah.
And they'll be enhancing the experience, like cutting out load times, cutting out all that shit, like. Shit that you're almost like not gonna consciously notice, but it's just gonna feel better to play.
There's
gonna be a lot of that.
You'll get a more comfortable experience, and it'll from what they're saying at least, it'll be a very obviously more comfortable experience if you've been using Switch for the last 8 years. Not that like I still think Switch existing and running games the way it does is moderately amazing because the thing was pretty old when it came out and it's still getting like. Some of the stuff coming out of it, I'm like,
which is again why I'm like almost weirded out that they're doing like the whole tech thing.
Yeah, because that changes the expectation.
It changes the expectation, and it's just a losing battle. Yeah. You now have a new thing coming out that in about 6 months is going to be fucking weak as shit compared to whatever fucking new thing is coming out on the PC handheld space, right? Yeah. And then everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, look at how fucking behind this underpowered piece of shit is."
I'm so unexcited for all the YouTube bullshit.
That instantly becomes the conversation. It's like now that's our focus. It's no longer about just like the experience. Like play the game, enjoy the game. Don't think about it too much. Like
now it's numbers. Now it's Digital Foundry has numbers. Yeah.
Exactly.
So okay. We should kind of go down a little bit of the list of stuff that they announced.
One more thing, just related to what you're saying. And it's to tie that back to the whole like pendulum swing thing.
Yeah.
This is a really weird point in time where now Nintendo is actually one of the most expensive options.
Yes.
For playing real. Games.
Yeah.
And the Steam Deck, even though we've said it's absurd to compare them, is like your budget option.
Yeah, it's less absurd now.
To go from having nothing to having a thing you can play games on, even on your TV. Let's include the dock.
Yeah, dock, yeah.
You're looking at about half the price for a Steam Deck and its library and games, like right? And quality games. I'll say quality games, right? Not just schlock.
Not just random fucking hentai games or whatever.
Compared to the Nintendo option, which is like really weird.
Yeah.
It's a really weird situation to be in.
Like, this is, I will say, just to, I want to get off the price shit, like the money stuff, but this is the opportunity for Valve to kind of ramp up production of the console, of the Steam Deck, so that people can get it. I think it's time for them to at least...
People can definitely get Steam Deck.
But, I mean, like, they need to have it on shelves.
They need to market it more.
There needs to be a retailer that has them on the shelf. Because there aren't any.
They started doing it. Maybe that was just overseas.
It's definitely not here. Because by and large, the system has only sold like 5 million, despite how...
Right, no, I know it's a drop in the fucking pan.
Yeah, it's a drop in the bucket compared to other machines, which it doesn't have to be.
They have a huge opportunity here. Yeah. Nintendo is giving these hardware manufacturers a really big opportunity.
A chance to snipe people who...
Which is unfortunate for them, but... Yeah. It is what it is.
For the sake of the market, though.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to...
more people that can get in on the handheld, like...
They're going to rail them back in.
High-fidelity games.
Yeah.
And like, now we might have more Steam users.
Yeah.
Might have more PC games, more optimized games for Steam Deck, especially if the game is optimized for Switch OLED. Not Switch OLED.
Maybe we'll finally get Maple Story on Steam Deck.
Yeah. Jesus. But, so... The actual, like, content of the presentation...
And the
stuff that there's stuff after that showed up on the website and whatnot. Like the actual device, all of that.
Yeah.
Where are we starting with that?
I guess we can just go top to bottom.
Sure. Okay.
So Mario Kart World.
Mario Kart World looks like a lot of fun.
It looks like a combination of Forza Horizons and Diddy Kong Racing.
See, I was thinking like Diddy Kong Racing, Burnout Paradise kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
But
looks fucking great. The game itself looks fucking great.
Grinding on rails and shit like that is funny as hell.
The biggest leap in like innovation and like fun in this franchise, I think maybe ever.
It's 100% ever.
Yeah.
Like, Mario Kart 8 refined everything.
Right. Mario Kart 8 was the pinnacle of everything that came before.
Yeah, exactly. And this iterates on the stuff that came before it with a completely new system.
Completely new direction.
That lets you.
That's Nintendo shit right there.
Yeah, that has everything that you remember.
Go sideways, don't go up.
Yeah. It's good shit. Like
it is really good shit.
Like up close, things look like the visuals look like a Nintendo game, if you know what I mean. But once you start pulling back and seeing how much is actually going on, plus the 24 racers on the track, everyone taking different paths and shit.
Dude,
wild stuff.
It's going right off the course, I was like, that's so tight, dude.
Just going where you want. I was like, oh my god, this is fucking,
so fucking
Mario Kart
tight.
is going to get its fucking Breath of the Wild moment. Wild. Actually fucking wild.
It is fucking crazy.
And I'm excited to see that shit on the fucking high frame rate screen and everything. I think this game is going to have a harder time penetrating than Mario Kart 8 for goddamn sure.
100%.
Absolute goddamn
It's the most expensive game.
But hopefully the game is good enough that people start to jump in as the years go by.
I mean, I will say, I don't think the penetration is going to be as big as you think, simply because the bundle is very reasonable.
Yeah, the bundle's reasonable.
$50.
Bundle is
for this
absolutely reasonable.
80, 90 physical fucking game.
Yeah. Is it 90 physical?
Yes. You didn't see that?
Physical's dead, dog.
It is. I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
There's just like
physical can't.
They're just like, what's the fucking point? Like, let's be real. Yeah. It's not even a real physical. It's a game key.
Is this a game key?
Yeah.
This one's a game key?
I'm pretty sure.
Because not all of them are game keys.
I didn't know that.
God damn it.
I'm feeding misinformation.
The game keys are limited. Like, not everything has a game key. Fucking Street Fighter 6 does.
Mario Kart World physical. No, is there anything else you wanted to
talk about with that game?
Yeah.
I mean, gotta wait for the direct specifically for that game coming up.
I'm happy about that.
I think that game is. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with that game. That's really the end of it. I have no problem with it being a launch game. I put myself on the list for the bundle.
I did too.
So it's just like, yeah, that seems like Mario Kart is the perfect launch game for a system like this, and this is the first time it's ever been.
It might be an actual physical game, but it is fucking $90 physical.
Yeah, like fuck that, fuck that.
It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, fuck that.
The next thing was the C button.
C button,
game sharing, camera.
We mostly talked about that.
Yeah.
It was rumored that some people thought it was going to be like a Wii U kind of thing, which in a way it kind of is.
It is kind of
like reading the interview. They actually a similar tech anyway that they used it for like local streaming.
Right.
And you can stream it to other Switch 2s or Switch 1 consoles depending on the game.
Mm-hmm.
And they intend to patch Switch 1 games so you can do that, utilize that feature on Switch 2. Like Clubhouse Games is getting it. You're getting mouse control with that shit too.
Game share is really good. Download Play is back.
Yeah, Download Play is genuinely back.
Back from the fucking dead.
There's no weird like you got to go to the eShop and download the
partner version.
Whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah.
Game share is good as shit. It's funny because Download Play was so good, and now having it over the internet, it's like it actually genuinely is something that they innovated on over Valve, because Valve has like the Steam Remote Play together.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
which is a great feature, and it works really well.
I've used it before. I don't use it as often as I think I would, but this
is a step above that in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
and I think having it on for a console of this type just kind of means you can share your games with people that can't afford it.
I really do think they're kind of going that direction.
Yeah, I think they understand what's going on. Like, this is a premium product.
It's kind of like, listen, Mario Kart, we hear you. We've got a bundle.
Yeah.
If you're not somebody that's going to be fucking playing it every day, just play with your friend. Just game share.
Just game share.
Like, exactly. I think they're giving some options there.
Yeah.
I really hope shit just does not sell well and they bring this shit down.
Yeah. Or at the very least, I hope something happens to
yeah.
Prices, I can't have a price go up. That's all.
Yeah.
Just don't go up. That's what
GTA 6 is going to be $100.
GTA 6 is going to actually be. I said
going to be the first 3-digit game.
It's 100% going to be $100. It's over.
I think that's the worst part about this price jump.
This is the last time we're talking about the price, by the way.
Yeah.
This is it.
is almost not even the implication for these specific games, but the implication that all other developers see this as like, the floodgates are open, boys.
Yeah.
The sharks are coming out. The chum is in the water.
Nintendo was the last one holding it and saying, hey, 60. Tears of the Kingdom 70, 60, you know?
Yeah.
So, and that's over.
And now it's fucking over. Then they did all the hardware shit.
Yeah, they showed off the hardware.
Screen.
120 hertz, 1080p. Wild to me.
Wild.
It doesn't need to be 1080p.
It doesn't need to be 1080.
It really doesn't need the pixel density.
I almost think they did it just because it was not expensive.
Maybe. Yeah.
I think they needed to make the console bigger to make it more powerful and to do all the things they needed to do.
Yeah.
And then at that point, they're like, it's fucking pennies to make it a 1080p screen.
Whoever they're getting the screens from, probably Samsung.
Yeah.
It probably made more sense because it was already on there.
They probably don't even really make 720 screens anymore.
That's what I'm saying. They probably didn't have to make a new production line for that.
Right.
They probably already had that ready to go.
LCD with HDR support.
Yep.
I wish it was OLED.
Everyone wishes it was OLED.
Everyone wishes it was OLED. It would be fucking $50 more, and then people would see a $500 price tag and actually scream.
Then it'd be over. Completely over. No chance. 0% chance. I do think...
I think it can be fine, though.
I think...
As long as it's fucking better than the current screen. I'm getting real tired of the quality of this original Switch screen.
I think that it's going... I'm very confident that the 8-year span, like them kind of taking their time to put this out, a lot of it was figuring out the best like price to quality situation, because the concept is already built. They didn't have to think about that. Switch, whatever.
Yep.
So having 8 years taking their time, I think we're gonna get like genuinely good shit. There might be some issues with the first batch, whatever that happens, but
And the PS Portal did make me a believer
in LCD. Modern LCD. Yeah.
Obviously, it's compared to OLED, the black colors still have the backlight.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's a really nice screen.
Right.
Where it's a joy to look at and to play things on. So I imagine this will be similar.
I think I'm not terribly worried about the screen on the Switch 2, especially because I tend to play it in TV mode most of the time anyway. Granted, I think because it's 120 hertz, it's more likely that I'll be using it in handheld mode. And I learned a lesson.
120 hertz is kind of hard to get on TVs. Yeah, there's not a lot of TVs. You're more likely to get a 4K TV than 120. To get a 4K.
Well,
I mean, new TVs are all pretty much VRR 120, whatever. Like this LG is.
This LG is, yeah.
It is a little bit more of a computer monitor.
I was going to say, it's perfect because it also supports 1440p.
Oh, interesting.
Yes,
they didn't say that.
When they show when they show them doing the settings, you can see the 1440p.
Oh, got it. Yeah, that's right.
And 1440p also supports 120 frames per second.
Yeah.
So it's
1440 is good.
Yeah, if you're playing this on a monitor, like a lot of people actually are.
Yeah.
You're set.
Yeah.
It's an improvement. Your monitor's going to make it better. It's also got VRR support.
Yep.
Yeah. It's all there.
So that's all good. Are you finally going to get a 4K TV?
Yeah. What I'm going to do is get rid of the old one upstairs, the one that my mom uses.
Is that the 40-inch one?
No. Okay. Maybe it is. I think it is actually. The one downstairs is the 50-something inch, 55-inch, whatever. That's going to go upstairs. I'm going to put the 4K one downstairs. Who knows when I'm going to do that? I don't know. I can probably survive with the TV I have. It's not like it doesn't look bad. It's a very late stage LCD.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
How do you feel about the Joy-Cons?
Joy-Con, if I need the Joy-Con 2, I need the stick. I need to feel the sticks. I want to feel what the sticks feel like. If they're bigger, they're bigger.
It's weird that all they said was that they're bigger.
Yeah,
I'll say it.
And they were quiet about it too.
They were really quiet about it.
Bigger.
Yeah, it was the one of all the techie things they were talking about. They could have said something about they're more durable, they're more something.
They didn't need to say Hall effect or anything. They
didn't need to say Hall effect. They didn't need to mention drift.
But something makes me feel like they're terrified to acknowledge that the other sticks have a problem,
or
in a presentation like this. Or
these are the same sticks.
Yeah, or they're the same sticks,
just bigger.
Yeah,
which will make me scream.
Yeah, my thought is they probably are an improvement, and because they're bigger. Probably be a little bit easier to replace because part of the problem with the Joy-Con is how so small they are. If you touch anything the wrong way, you're gonna rip a ribbon cable or lose something.
Yeah.
I do think the Joy-Con probably will feel a lot better. They're curvier, they're thicker, but they're bigger.
Yeah, they'll feel better in your hands.
Yeah, they'll feel better in my long spider hands. They have and the L and R buttons look good. They look substantial.
They look really good.
I think the Joy-Con are just going to be nothing but improvement.
Yeah.
The original Joy-Con put me off the first time I touched them, and I was like, I got to get a Pro Controller.
Yep.
This time I might be a little slower on that.
Yeah.
Especially if I can use my old Pro Controller on my current Pro Controller.
Yeah, they look satisfying to use.
Yeah.
They don't look like they feel like cheap little trinkets.
Right. And because they're magnetic. They have the magnetic thing, and it's the SL and SR buttons that are magnetic.
Right.
They're steel. They're made out of steel, and that'll just make the controller feel a
more
little
durable,
heavier anyway. And it has to be more durable internally
for the magnetics.
To support that shit. Exactly. So I think these new Joy-Con are going to be solid. They're also going to be expensive, but
same price though, right?
I think
$80,
$90 for a set.
Pro Controller's $80.
Yeah.
So I mean. Ironically, the smallest price increase of all the things. So by all means.
These things have the least... They removed... So
also, Joy-Cons seemed to work.
They work. You can use them to play Switch games at least.
Curious if they'll work for Switch 2 games.
Yeah, that's what I'm
like Donkey Kong.
I feel like it'd be ridiculous to not have them work in some Mario Party.
If Mario Kart doesn't let you use Joy-Cons, people are gonna fucking riot,
People are gonna fucking flip.
They want to play 4 people on this console with the least amount of purchase.
Yeah, extra purchases and shit. Yeah. I think those Joy-Con will probably be usable. I think because you can use them in Switch games in the first place.
Yeah.
I think it'll just be on a game by game basis. No,
there's also there's like less tech in these Joy-Cons, which is part of why I think it's only $10 more.
They replaced the IR camera, which
there is no IR
isn't
camera
used for much. They replaced that and have both things have like mouse sensors.
Yeah, mouse. I'm excited about the mouse.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited seeing it.
That's Nintendo shit through and through.
Yeah,
that's the good shit.
One of the games they showed, getting a Switch 2 edition, I was like, oh. Why'd you just sneak that in? Why didn't you focus on this the other day?
Talking about Prime 4.
Hell yeah, I'm talking about fucking Prime 4.
Prime 4 mouse controls looks fun as
Prime
fuck.
4 mouse controls, 4K 60 or 1080 120.
I will say, I was really annoyed that they showed that they're going to have 2 fucking modes.
Wait, what do you mean?
It's like, choose quality or performance. Yeah. I was just like, bro.
Yeah, that's
not a Nintendo thing.
It isn't. That's a fucking Western thing. And that's how you know Retro Studios made that fucking game.
Yeah, probably.
Fuck. I think the Joy-Con are going to be good. The Pro Controller, I'll talk about that real quick. The new Pro Controller.
I like that it has back buttons.
Yeah, it has back buttons. One of them is GR, which is cool. They're programmable back buttons. I've been saying that and gyro need to be standard since like 2015. Nintendo's there now.
They heard you.
Crazy enough, Nintendo's the first one that got there.
They listened to memory.
Standard controller. Yeah, they listened to memory link. They got there with the standard controller. So
what do you mean by standard?
Standard? I mean like it's not the $200 PlayStation Edge. You know what I mean? Or it's not an accessory you add on to it, or a third-party controller you buy offhand. It's the Pro Controller, the normal Pro Controller that you get has the buttons on there.
It's good.
You don't have to think about it. If you don't want to use them, don't use them. But
you know what I've noticed though?
What is that?
When I get used to it, I miss not having them.
Yeah.
So like going back to playing the Switch 2 in handheld mode and not having the buttons
is going to be
it's
going to be a little off. It's a
weird thing. It's a weird thing.
Which is like
I especially noticed it. This is not relevant to Switch 2, but on the Steam Deck, emulating the games that you legally own and ripped.
Yeah.
Having a dedicated button for like pause, the menus save state, mode state, super fucking useful. But not really relevant here.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of emulators, we got something to talk about soon enough. What's the next thing on the list that got announced?
I mentioned speaker and clearer audio.
Oh yeah, speaker. The clear audio, cool. I don't really give a shit. My ear does what it does. Microphone is funny.
The microphone is very funny. They're doing like noise canceling Microsoft Teams style bullshit.
The noise canceling absolutely is using AI. 100%. It's using because it's an NVIDIA chip.
Yeah, they're all very obvious. Yeah, NVIDIA broadcast.
Yeah. That's great. That's cool. Again, if you have headphones, you got spatial audio. Cool. Awesome. They didn't say anything explicitly about Bluetooth headsets. You'll probably be able to use the Bluetooth headset. Like that seems completely insane that they would have to patch that in again when they have it on Switch 1.
They new stand, good.
Are you talking about new dock?
No, the stand.
Oh yeah, the new kickstand looks good. It's like the OLED kickstand, but with less surface area, but functionally the same thing.
2 USB-C ports, which is funny. It makes more sense to me now with the camera and just the fact that you can have things plugged in while it's docked.
Yeah, which means that they designed that camera in a way so you can use it when your Switch is not in the dock.
Right.
Because they could have just used a USB port on the side of the dock.
Without seeing that, I was like, this seems really superfluous and unnecessary just to be able to charge it 2 ways.
Right.
But showing it, and I was like, okay, this actually makes more sense.
It was very obviously like a reaction to not being able to charge tabletop without that little dumb stand and shit like that. It was like, we don't need another product for this. Just put one on top.
All right, new dock.
New dock. That shit fucking tight.
Yeah, new dock looks good.
It's clean. It has all the features that it needs. It has a fan.
The one thing...
so I think the dock
one thing I didn't see, correct me if I'm wrong.
Go ahead.
I didn't see USB-A ports or USB-C ports. I didn't see any USB ports, except for the one on top of the Switch.
My understanding is it still has the same USB ports on the side, and then the Ethernet port in the back.
It's got these. I didn't see anything on the front.
I need to see this side over here.
Let me try to find it.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what the post says. I think it would be psychotic not to have that on the side, especially if we're keeping parity with other... No, it's not the side I need to see. I need to see the other one. I need to see the side.
You just saw the other one.
No, wait. I've seen this side. I need to see the other. I need to see this side, the left side of it. The side
the back of it.
I need to see the side that has the fan on it. I need to see the left side where the ports are on the original Switch. You know what I'm
saying? I know what you're saying. I'm just spatially
there's no
fucking
image.
confused.
Yeah, there's no image of that side.
Nobody's shown it?
I have not seen it. I've looked.
Interesting.
There might be like a spin around or something like that.
Why are they hiding it?
But
why are they hiding it?
Maybe there's one port. Maybe
there's no ports.
I highly doubt there's no ports.
The port is on top.
There's a port on top.
That's the port.
No, let me see your phone. You're saying crazy shit. Let's see.
It's funny that there's a fan. I'm glad that there's a fan.
There you go.
No more reports of no more reports of the Switch being fucking melting and
folding
bending.
Or some shit. It's fucking ridiculous.
But other than just the fact that it has a fan, 4K, anything that comes to mind?
Nothing crazy. It's just clearly what it does is the stuff
it has 2 USB ports. Yeah. It says it on the specs.
But 2.0?
Yeah.
What the fuck? All right, whatever. It's exactly what was on the original Switch, but they are there.
I mean, it's just there for basic shit. It doesn't need 3.1.
It's there to charge shit. Yeah. It's there to connect
low power
controllers, things like that. It's not meant for. You don't need an adapter to use a LAN port or whatever anymore. So it's fine. But
the Joy-Cons use Bluetooth 3.0.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
but aren't they on Bluetooth 5?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter as long as it works. It's fine.
As long as it works more than fucking 3 feet away.
Yeah, it should be fine. I'm 100% sure they're aware of that shit. If they're not, then they're psychotic, and they still have the 20-hour battery life. That's cool.
You know what doesn't?
I know it doesn't.
The 450 device that we're buying.
I know. And the Joy-Con 2 grip.
I like that the grip is chargeable, just like the recent stand, the charging stand they came out with.
This page is pretty rounded out now, huh?
Yeah, it is. They have the US version too.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at now.
Oh, okay. Here's a funny comment. Switch 2 is like a reverse PS3, where instead of being a horrifyingly overpriced console with no games at launch, it's a moderately reasonable priced console with loads of games that are all horrifyingly overpriced.
Yeah. Oops.
Speaking of overpriced, Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Yeah.
Dog.
What the fuck was that?
It's such a cool idea to have a playable tour of the console. How much is it gonna cost? If that shit is more than $10,
$10 is too much.
It's still
the fact you have to pay for it.
The fact that you have to pay for it is absurd anyway.
Astro's Playroom is a full fucking game,
and it's free. It comes if not pre-installed, it's just you can
full
just get
fucking game. It's the same thing. I saw them doing it. I was like, oh, they're doing the Astro's Playroom thing. That's tight.
Yeah.
And then like fully paid download game, paid digital download game. I was like, what?
If it's more than $10, completely insane. It's already insane. But again, I don't want to talk about the price of shit right now. But like as an idea, it's
stressing
cool.
You out.
I want to try it. But
I would like to try it. The shit that they showed, the fact that it's paid, and the shit that they showed was not compelling.
Yeah,
as a game, it's learn
really just
facts about your Switch 2 hardware. It's like
that's the perfect thing to just kind of.
And they're like, oh, we will also maybe have mini games. It was just like
I like the little mouse demonstration, like tournament and shit like that.
Sure.
But again,
why am I paying for that, dude?
Yeah.
Steam Deck has fucking that Aperture, the Aperture Workbench or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Like. Every time Valve puts out free software to be like, here's how you interact with your shit.
Works. Yeah.
Insane.
But paradigm shift. There's a reason. There's some kind of reason we don't understand why they decided to do it this way.
There is probably an element of fucking swagger. Like I think they can throw their weight around.
Weight around too.
Which is sad, man. It's just sad.
Yeah. Let's keep going though.
Okay. Welcome tour. Game cards are the same size as Switch 1. They're red, faster read speeds, micro SD Express.
Yeah, that's.
It doesn't matter to me.
I get it.
It makes sense.
It kind of sucks that I can't just take my 1 terabyte SD card out of my Switch OLED and put it in my Switch 2.
Your SD card's old, man.
I got it 2 years ago. Not that old.
Shouldn't have.
Whatever.
You can use it on your Steam Deck.
What Steam Deck? But yeah, no.
The Steam Deck you can buy for $50 less.
Yeah, my intent when I get home is actually just to I'm now on a game freeze, not buying any more fucking games for Switch.
Gotta save up.
Exactly. So I'm just gonna install every game.
Yeah.
Every game I have should be able to fit on that SD card now, so I don't have to
you might as well
out space in any way.
And then they started getting into the delineation of the software differences.
Sure, yeah.
So it's backwards compatible with Switch 1.
Yeah.
It's going to have its own exclusive games you can't play on your old Switch. Of course. And then Nintendo Switch 2 edition games, which we already touched on. Yeah. Seems like they have a couple different levels of upgrade here. The first one they showed was Mario Party Jamboree. It has a fuck ton of new shit.
All new shit.
I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited that I can just pay a little upgrade. I don't know if it's going to be free with NSO. Right. But that's
Do you have the box art on the screen?
Yeah. Jamboree TV. Is this what you're talking about? What?
Oh.
What?
Didn't the original box art have Joy-Con on it?
Where?
Oh, no.
What are you talking about?
The original box art for the original game?
I mean, this isn't box art. This is just
it's key art, but it's the same shit.
This is the original box art.
That's the original box art? Okay, never mind. Oh, shit.
What did you think had Joy-Con on it?
Huh?
What did you think had Joy-Con on it?
My thought is you could buy Super Mario Party with Joy-Con. I think that might be what I was thinking. But, okay. Crisis averted, whatever.
Did you think Joy-Cons weren't going to be
usable? I thought they were like, oh, no.
Well, I mean, with the Jamboree TV shit, it's clearly mouse mode.
It's the mouse mode. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, can they not kind of simulate that with gyro control for people with Joy-Con?
I doubt it.
You know?
That'd be cool, but I doubt it.
Well, I guess we'll have to fucking find out.
They have to make the same minigame twice.
Yeah, I mean, they just have another
program it
control
twice.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just saying.
They do that shit all the time.
I'm just saying, dog. I'm just saying.
But it's cool that
it looks cool. The minigames look fucking great.
Basically, like
full game share.
New Mario Party.
Now you can play this without me without having to fucking be here.
Exactly.
Like, there's good shit here.
So, like, I can't play these camera games. I'm not buying that fucking camera.
You're not?
I'm not. No, I'm not putting a fucking camera connected to the internet in my house.
Is it like a privacy thing?
It's just I don't need that. All right. There's nothing for me with that.
Fine, I'll play the Goomba minigame by myself.
Sorry, but okay. We're looking at it on the.
They showed Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
That's
essential.
Really fucking hot to me.
It's really important.
Good shit.
It's really important.
Like these games get to do it.
It's good shit, but like they really needed to do it.
Yeah. I mean, for the longevity of the games too, like going into the future.
It was like one of the main criticisms people had about the game is that it would chunk down.
It got chunky and. Like, I didn't mind it personally, but it's also taken me a long time to get back to Tears of the Kingdom. And
it's true.
They took that with them. But being able to play it in a superior form is such a nice thought.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So,
it's funny that they call it Nintendo Switch 2 Edition and not like Definitive Edition.
Yeah.
Because they do love Definitive Edition.
They use it twice with Xenoblade. But I think the intent here is that the original game is still valid.
Right.
Because you'll still be able to get it and play it on your current.
It's completely playable.
Tears of the Kingdom isn't old. Breath of the Wild is pretty old, but people still get it and play it.
It's a Wii U game.
That's what I was going to say. It's now been released on 3 different consoles. Yeah. Which is crazy to think about, but god damn, like 4K, 60, those games, especially.
Yeah.
One of my things with Tears of the Kingdom is that I wanted to be able to build shit with a mouse.
Yeah.
Here we fucking are.
Did they announce that,
They didn't announce it. I don't have any doubt that you'll be able to do it.
I don't think it's that important.
I think it's really important.
I don't think it's that important.
Well,
I think you're being a little bit of a pussy ass bitch.
I think you're a little bitch that hasn't created software for long enough.
I do think it's not built for you.
What?
They didn't design this for creatives that are using creative software.
I know they didn't, but here I am. So if anything that gets closer to accommodating it,
more options is better.
Yeah,
by all means, patch that shit in. I
GPS
think
thing.
it's extremely hot.
Yeah.
The hottest thing about the whole thing to me is that
because you've been thinking about this for a while ago.
You can share the creations.
Oh, okay. Yes.
All the shit that's on Twitter where you see these people making these things that take
Gundams and shit that take hours
to collect the parts and to build. Like the fact that now that can be evangelized to the masses.
Yeah, you can just. That
is the hottest thing about the game. That turns it into like an individual, isolated experience. Yeah. Into like now it is much more communal.
Yeah, it was communal in a way before, but now it's like actually making good on that.
That is
it's not
good,
just seeing it. You're
good shit.
Interact with it. And
it's also funny because I think it's another one of those things where they're like, "This is on Twitter.
Yeah,
we want this in our ecosystem.
We want this controlled." Yeah, and another thing which I don't think they kind of mentioned a lot, but I think because of this, you have a situation where people that don't like the creative aspect of games like this, like they're intimidated by building things. They're like, someone built something that works.
Yeah.
So let me just order this, get the materials for it, have it built.
That is the hottest thing about it.
So
that changes the game fundamentally.
Yeah. Yes.
In a very good way.
Yeah. You're more responsible for the resources and things like that if you want to be. And then the fucking
voice notes I don't know about. Not sold on it.
So the changes to the phone app that's what I was thinking of. They're changing the name to Nintendo Switch app.
What was it before?
It was Nintendo Switch Online.
Oh, okay.
It's not my I mean, but
you have to be on Switch Online to use it.
Well, as far as I understand now, you don't.
Oh, the app itself is no longer exclusive.
You can use some of those features without having Switch Online. And I think now, of course, they're not integrating music and today into it, but I think they're integrating more stuff into it.
What if Switch Online becomes
to
play a lot of these games?
That's insane. That's not going to happen.
I've seen more insane shit today than you can believe.
But that's too insane. That's too much.
People would,
especially for a handheld. That's
people would start treating them like a Tesla dealership.
Yeah, we see some big
gamer rage,
some big Charizard reenactments. If you know what I mean.
But go on. I think I know what you're saying. Is that the fact that they're reinvesting back into the app is interesting.
They're investing into the app in a way that's less
cringe.
In a bigger way. Yeah, like they're getting like single player games onto it that probably should have been on it in some way in the first place. Right. Now that I see it. The GPS is hilarious. But I do also think the being able to share your images and whatnot via the thing and stuff like that.
Did you see the report? I don't know if it was actually confirmed.
What was it?
They mentioned that like now screenshots and videos that you take are just on the app, like synced to the app, so you don't have to like scan the QR code, get on the Wi-Fi, download the thing.
I didn't see that.
It's just in the app now.
That's cool. That's PlayStation app shit. That's like how that works.
If that's true,
that's
very good.
Excellent. That's very convenient. Yeah. I'd much rather that than the jumps that I have to make. Like I do them just to share my fucking wins.
I do that too. And same with me for Pokemon Unite. Kirby and the Forgotten Land Switch 2 edition.
That's hilarious. I bought the game last year. It's waiting for me, so I'll be buying this. Yeah.
And fortunately, this is one where they added content, so I actually have a good reason to go back to it.
Yeah.
I can now compare it, my experience.
Yeah.
Which is good. It's a great game.
Yeah.
It's a very good game.
Yeah.
Probably the best Kirby game. I think I mentioned this before. Yeah. Definitely play through it. Now's your chance.
Yeah, they clearly agree with you in a way because look at this. Like it looks great. It's going to run insanely well now.
Yeah.
I'm very happy that's how I'm going to get to play some of these games.
Go for it.
Metroid Prime 4. They showed it at the Switch Direct last week, and they didn't have to, but that was a guarantee that it was coming out on Switch 1. Great. Switch 2 presentation, they just like, hello, it's getting a Switch 2 edition, high frame rate, mouse control, and then they just kind of moved on. They needed to linger on this a little bit, dog. This game already looks crazy on Switch.
Yeah.
Switch 2 being able to like get ultimate clarity and frame rate with HDR and shit. and having performance mode and quality mode, fuck off. But having that kind of thing with Metroid Prime, this is the first time Metroid Prime, has been on a machine that can really bring out the environments. Like Prime Remastered is crazy on Switch 1. This is making good on the promises that game made, and being able to play it on Switch 1, Switch 2, and maybe go
it
back
is
and forth
very
with the same
funny
data.
that it's going to get a Switch 1 edition.
Yeah, I mean,
is this the only new game? I think it is the only first-party new game that's going to have both editions launching.
Both editions launching together. Yes, yeah. I believe because
I guess Tomodachi.
I don't think it's going to have a Switch 2 edition. I think it's going to be
just playable backwards.
But this is the thing with this. I think is because they did make that promise when the original Switch launched that Metroid Prime 4 was coming.
Yeah,
there's people that have been waiting.
That's 8 true.
Years for the game, and then it got restarted in 2019. Obviously, what they had were the specs for the original Switch. They had no way of knowing how long it was going to take to build this game. And after a certain point, I'm sure somebody made a call to Retro Studios and said, "Hey, so R&D, Switch 2.
Yeah,
you need to target this too in some way. This is what we're trying to do with it." So the result is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond Nintendo Switch 2 edition day one. And my understanding is if you get the Switch 2 edition of games, you also get the original Switch version.
Is it day one?
Yeah. This is day. As far as I understand, this
is launch day?
Wait, did they say so?
I don't think they said that.
I don't know if they said that.
I don't think they gave the launch date.
Yeah, you're right. Fuck. Well, whatever. Oh, fuck, you're right. Damn, did I fucking...
No. Yeah, they definitely did not.
All right, regardless, though, it's going to come out at the same time, the Switch version and the Switch 2 version.
That's true. It'll be a simultaneous release.
Wait, go back to that page real quick.
Wait. This just fucking said it. Oh, first trailer. Okay.
Oh, in 2020. Yeah. Damn, that was in June?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. It feels like it was
time
not
is
that
fucked
far.
up.
But okay.
They have their roadmap for the year. They're gonna have good shit in each quarter.
Yeah.
They're gonna have good shit at launch. They're gonna have good shit in the summer. They're gonna have good shit in the holiday season. Yeah. So they're covered from a software perspective.
I think the games coming out, when you're ready to get them, they're gonna be great.
Yeah. Two things I'm noticing now that I'm looking at this screenshot. One, thinking about my experience playing Metroid Prime with motion controls on the airplane in a tightly crowded airplane.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to feel this mouse control because I'm wondering how durable it is. Can I do it like on my leg?
Can you use it
exactly.
on like the seat beside you or something?
Yeah, exactly.
And I bet you will. Mice are pretty up there now.
Yeah.
And I mean like $20 mice.
Right,
you can use on anything.
So I'm excited to see that. Excited to see how you can adjust it.
Yeah.
The range of motion.
Will there be PPI sensitivity or some shit?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I also wonder, do you think they're going to have motion control versions?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
because they only mentioned standard controls and mouse controls.
I highly expect to have the gyro, like dual stick controls.
The same shit as
and probably
Prime
the
1.
pointer controls. Yeah. I think there's no reason not to have the pointer controls. I think there's nothing that I'm seeing with this game that makes it seem like that'd be inappropriate to have there.
Yeah.
Especially when it works so well on on Prime Remastered on Switch 1, which I also kind of hope gets a Switch 2 edition. But
the other thing that I'm noticing here is I actually wish now, especially because we're not getting Prime 2 and 3, that they just called it Metroid Prime Beyond and dropped the 4.
Just went away from
Probably would have made more sense.
Yeah.
But what can you do?
And like the narrative cues seem to be referencing things that aren't even from Prime 2 and 3.
Exactly.
Specifically the handheld games, which is very funny to me.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even think about that as I was saying it, because the game technically is a handheld game. Pokemon ZA.
Pokemon Zaza Gabor.
Getting a Switch 2 edition makes it a bit more appealing. Because now it looks really nice.
It does.
It looks really smooth. It looks really cool. I'm very interested in that.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see when that comes out.
Yeah.
What's funny is it seemed like they were alluding to the fact that for the games that are getting Switch 2 editions, they also mentioned Scarlet and Violet. And they seem to mention that Pokemon Zaza is getting more of an upgrade.
Yeah, this is getting
in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
This is getting the actual upgrade.
Yeah.
The patch that's coming for Scarlet and Violet isn't like a paid
like the game
edition.
wasn't built for it.
It's just they're using this opportunity to,
which is probably why it's free.
It. Yeah.
This is probably going to be $10 more.
Yeah, like hopefully I didn't really look at the list. Hopefully like Animal Crossing gets that kind of treatment. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that could being at 60 or higher would be great. Not to mention the world. People's outsides being a fucking mess. More of it can be rendered at a time, and you don't have to like fucking stare.
Yeah, they can pull the camera back a little. Yeah,
pull the camera out and see the light. Chop it around. Wee's favorite game.
Drag X Drive. Yeah. You know what's funny about this game? There were some people that are like, "Oh, there's gonna be legs, arms and legs."
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know.
They're doing fucking arms without legs.
They're doing arms, no legs. Exactly. Like why the whole concept of having legs as a sequel to Arms doesn't make any damn sense.
It's so stupid.
How would you control that? Fuck off, idiots. Sorry, I didn't even call you idiots.
Here's what I'm going to say about this game. The actual motion controls of it, the mouse controls, look really fun.
Those look like fun. I don't want to buy this.
No, I don't want to buy this game. I think this game looks ugly as sin.
Yeah, it looks like a game that would have.
I wish it looked like Arms. Yeah. I wish they would make it like colorful, whimsy, like. Yeah. This looks fucking flat.
It's flat. Like I don't remember if the vignetting was actually in the game, but
it's just it's a very unappealing game to look at.
Yeah, this game is like kind of budget price.
It looks like an Xbox, an original Xbox game. Okay. You know what I mean?
I know what you
mean. Like Fusion Frenzy style.
Okay, yeah. I'm about to say I don't know.
Stylistically,
but yeah, it looks like a Bomberman X-Zero kind of.
That's exactly that type of shit. And then they got into the partners.
They starting to get into the third party.
And it was really fucking funny to me that they shot off with Elden Ring.
Elden Ring? They knew what they were doing. I'm like, hey.
Are you going to play Elden Ring for Switch 2?
We're getting Elden Ring 2. I will not.
Okay.
I want to finish Sekiro before I even think about doing something like that. But at least I know it's on handheld that I'll own.
Yeah. I'm really curious to see... First off, it's funny that it's getting its own edition.
Yeah.
That might not even come to other consoles or PC.
Right.
So that's funny. The second thing is I'm really curious to just see how it runs compared to Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Because even on Steam Deck, even on like PS4 and shit, like it's not like ironclad 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
You're making some trade-offs there. Yeah. So I'm really curious to know what modes are going to be running on Switch 2.
And I think the benefit of Switch 2 being like a specific console, means that the games in general can be optimized for it.
Yeah.
So cuts can be made where they need to be made. Things can be done to make it run particularly well. You're not just downloading a PC version and turning some settings up and down. So I am curious to see how some of these third-party games hash out on that system. Like some of these are very obviously being taken very seriously. Like the next one after the other one.
That I think this is part of where Nintendo's like chutzpah comes from to charge as much as they're charging for first-party games is because now it's like for the first time ever. They've got everyone lining up
everyone
to bow to the fucking king and kiss the ring. You know what I mean? Like everyone wants a piece of this ass because of the install base, penetration, all that shit.
Just everything that comes with what Nintendo Switch was.
Yeah, Switch. The original Switch printed fucking money for people that launched it on it.
Like you can put your games on this confidently.
Right.
Like when it comes to like running the games, like the game's working at all.
Exactly.
You don't have to go crazy with it as far as I understand to port it. So like Hades 2, obvious.
Very obvious. Hades 1 was on it. Yeah,
Hades 2 is coming out on Switch 1.
Street Fighter 6.
Street Fighter 6.
Pretty fucking funny
as shit. This is one of the things I was talking about when I said they're taking it pretty fucking seriously.
3 fucking amiibo.
3 full standing amiibo.
Is back, by the way. This is how they announced it.
Yeah, it's like what the fuck?
Not in the hardware section.
There's no amiibo are still around and they're getting added. Like this is a third party game.
Are you gonna get these amiibo?
I'm gonna get one of them. I'm
probably
gonna get Kimberly.
Did you play it, Kimberly?
No,
was that?
But
it's really funny.
And then there's amiibo cards.
You think they're gonna have amiibos for all fucking 22?
These are cards. They're amiibo cards.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, like it's right there.
It says it, but it doesn't say they won't
Oh, I mean,
like I'm wondering, are they going to do a Smash Waves thing?
No, I think that'd be fucking insane for Street Fighter 6, especially with that game still getting DLC and everything. But Street Fighter 6 looks great on Switch 2 from what they showed.
Yeah,
has crossplay with the other consoles. It's fully featured fucking Street Fighter 6, but that's one of the games that's using the game card, the game key.
Yeah.
Where you put the game in and
you just download it.
You're getting a digital game, but you use the game key to play it. Which, just to talk about the key again, if I didn't already mention it, you can use it. It's the same thing as having the download code in the thing, but instead of it being a download code you use once and it's attached to your account forever, you can give it to somebody.
Oh, okay.
So the person puts it in their system, they download the game, and then they have to have the card in there. I think
has anyone else done that?
No, this is the first time, and I think it's because the game is or the game cards are
the virtual game cards.
What they are, not the virtual ones. These game cards, like the physical ones, are what they are. They're a little bit more durable, so they're not discs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it's not like you're installing from the game card. It's literally just like like a fucking security key.
That's interesting.
So it's something that I'm not really too into, but I think for the most part, physical shit.
Yeah.
But Daemon X Machina sequel, cool. The first game.
Oh, is it a sequel?
It's a sequel.
Oh, I thought it was the original game. I was rolling my eyes. I was like, why the fuck is this here?
Fuck no. That game is a sequel. The first game was cool. I hope the mission structure in this game is a little less
Xenoblade Chronicles X is back.
Honestly, something in my head was like, "Is this Xenoblade get
Xenoblade X2
it just came out." But
yeah, I don't really give a shit about.
So Daemon X Machina being there is funny, just because it was like kind of a big thing on the original Switch.
It was. They made a big hullabaloo. Yeah,
it's even. I shouldn't spoil that, but it's referenced in another game.
Which is
it
funny?
Yeah.
Is it Grasshopper?
It's not Grasshopper, but it's Marvelous, and No More Heroes also is a Marvelous.
Okay, yeah.
It's a Marvelous.
They do their thing where they link to everything. Yeah. Split Fiction, great.
Split Fiction, crazy,
crossplay,
awesome that's
very
there.
good.
I didn't know it was crossplay.
Oh, it's completely crossplay.
That's
even
hot.
The free version is crossplay.
That's hot.
You can play this shit with me on your Switch
on my Switch too. Yeah,
and I'm on my PS5.
That's incredible. That's fantastic.
Dude, this studio is really good.
Yeah,
it's crazy how good they are at making co-op games.
Bullshit, but they're letting them EA is whatever to me, but it's cool that this can exist.
Very good. Yeah.
FC and
Harry Potter. Harry Pogler. Funny that it had mouse controls though, with all the wand.
With all the wand stuff, shit. But I don't want to talk about that fucking game. Fuck that shit. Fuck that bitch.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater
3 and 4. I hope 1 and 2 also come out on Switch too.
Yeah.
That's where I will.
They were on Switch though.
They were on Switch, but they ran like Switch games.
Were they shitty?
They were not as nice as playing it on a bigger console.
Yeah, fair enough.
And the SpongeBob stuff is really funny.
The SpongeBob stuff is really funny, and I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't understand it quite. They just showed a little bit of it, but I'm interested in 3 and 4. 3 and 4 are more fun to me than 1 and 2, so I'm glad that's there.
I never touched 3 and 4.
3 and 4 are really fucking.
I've like people that actually are true series fans always say that those are the better games, which is I just have the nostalgia for 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Hitman: World of Assassins.
Hitman: World of Assassins. That completely makes sense.
Yeah.
Which led into their next announcement. Hitman makes complete sense. I'm like, no surprise. It's cool that it's there. I'm probably not going to get it, but great that it's there.
Yeah.
But that led into them announcing the 007 project.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
Oh, that's great. Fucking Hitman is exactly... The Hitman gameplay is just like fucking James Bond. It's like playing a James Bond game. That's not...
I will be honest, I've only played GoldenEye. I never played any of the other Bond games.
Forget it. Don't worry about the Bond games. The other Bond, like all the Bond games are different. I'm saying that the gameplay in Hitman is like being
You're
James
like a secret
Bond.
agent.
Like you sneak around, you do these things. You change clothes and shit.
Got it.
So I think with Hitman, you have a more slow, like kind of grim take on it because you're an assassin.
Yeah.
Whereas whereas James Bond,
he's like a hero.
You're a secret agent that's trying to infiltrate, and you have to like talk.
You're a good guy. You're not a bad guy.
These things, yeah. So, I mean, James Bond's pretty shitty dude sometimes, but
womanizer.
Yeah, I mean, Bravely Default, strange.
Very strange.
Like this is Switch 1 stuff.
It's just weird that they're even like. I guess because it was trapped on DS.
I guess, yeah. It's coming out on other platforms too, so it's not It's not exclusive or anything.
I don't really feel anything about this.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't feel the need to touch it or play it. I enjoyed Bravely Default on the DS when it came out.
It's a strange get. It's
was it DS or 3DS?
3DS.
It was 3DS.
Yeah. I think that game is cool because it's only $40.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Switch 2 version?
The Switch 2 version is only $40, which is about the same price you would get a 3DS game for anyway.
I'm happy about Square being Square.
Yeah.
Keep doing you, Square Enix.
Keep releasing handheld games.
Yeah.
And keep them at handheld prices. That's fine.
Yakuza 0 Director's Cut.
This is cool. I have the game on PC. I need to finish it. I'm probably not going to play it here.
This is the first Yakuza game on Switch, right? Or on Nintendo?
Second one.
What was
Yakuza 1? Yakuza Kiwami 1 is on Switch 1.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's right.
Hyrule War. I had to shield my eyes here.
Why?
Because I haven't finished Tears of the Kingdom.
It didn't spoil anything.
I wouldn't know. I don't want to find out. I didn't want to find out the hard way.
It's a prequel.
Yeah, I know it's a prequel. I just didn't. Have you
done all the
no
memory things?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's like the first thing I did in the game.
Yeah,
I did it in like 5 hours.
I've got a lot of them done, but I didn't do all of them. But
it's strange to me.
Yeah, I'm just.
This is baffling to me.
More Hyrule Warriors is cool to me.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Looking at the character roster, I was like,
who the fuck?
It's like, this is not hype.
Yeah. I wouldn't know.
The number one thing that's cool about Warriors games is the character list.
Yeah.
And this character list is just like all of this dude's race.
All of this dude's friends. Yeah.
And I'm just like, nobody cares about this dude.
Fucking.
Why did they do this? Why is it like, I'm going to sound like that guy for a second. That fucking gamer that's just like Tears of the Kingdom was Breath of the Wild DLC.
Yeah.
I think this should have been Age of Calamity DLC.
Sure. And Age of Calamity needs that frame rate boost. So I hope
it needs the frame rate boost. And frankly, it didn't have nearly as much like shit in the game as like the other Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah. I mean, it's very much its own like it's not definitive edition. I'll say that.
Right. So this could have been a bookend situation, but I guess they don't want to like marry those two games together because they keep trying to do this weird thing where like they're different canons.
There's a big split anyway. Yeah.
So it's just weird to me. Just a weird game.
But I'm gonna get it.
I'm happy for you. I'm not gonna get it.
I like Warriors games. So it's all right. Especially I like the crossover Warriors games specifically.
Age of Calamity was fun. I think the gameplay was better than the other one.
In general, the gameplay is better. Yeah.
The gameplay systems were better, but like the game was just like
it's more monotonous. It's more monotonous, like visually and content wise. Yeah,
exactly.
You weren't going between different worlds from different Zelda games. Right. You were just in.
It didn't have the
literally
excitement
on the map of Breath of the Wild.
This was when I saw this. I was like, "This is a higher fans presentation." I was like, "This is a fever dream direct." Nintendo did not make this direct. This is a fever dream direct that fans cooked up, and the next thing we're gonna see is the Pokemon Retro Collection for Nintendo Switch.
Like this is the controller is funny to me. I wonder if the
controller is great. The controller is, in my opinion, the best part about it.
But I wonder if the GameCube controller adapter will still be compatible and let me use my original GameCube controllers.
I don't see why it wouldn't. It's still got USB.
It's still got USB. There might be something about the NSO app that maps incorrectly. There could be any amount of things
that
where
would
it doesn't
be really
work.
Stupid.
It would be stupid.
And they would have to know that that's stupid as shit.
It would have to be stupid, but you never know.
It's true. You never know. It's good shit.
This is
wildly good shit for a lot of reasons.
Speaking of,
if we're going to talk
about prices, actually,
exactly. That was the first thing that came to mind. They showed this one right here.
Yeah.
They showed this one right here.
They showed this one right here. Fucking Fire Emblem.
3 games in a row that are like $200 to $400
if you're trying to buy the disc, and they've never been released anywhere else.
This was smart.
This rules. This is awesome.
This is very fucking good.
It being on Switch 2 only completely makes sense to me. It's like from a technical aspect.
This made it feel weird.
This is strange, but that's because you can't get the 30th anniversary, the
Super Mario Sunshine.
3 All-Stars anymore.
Long story short, they had been going this route of like actually remastering GameCube games
and
selling them full price. That's what I thought was going
to continue,
Yeah, which would have made sense and would have been fine. People would have been happy with it.
Yeah.
I think they probably got to a point where, like, with some of these games, they just didn't want to bother.
It wasn't feasible to try to do it on like with so many of these games.
Yeah.
So like F-Zero GX, properly re-released on a console with higher resolution.
I felt that shit.
It has that game is one of the few GameCube games that has a real widescreen mode.
Yeah.
So that shit's gonna look fucking good as hell.
Yeah, dude. All the games that have progressive scan options really need to fucking use them.
The fucking I wonder if this is how Killer Stuff is gonna show up.
This one was weird.
This is weird. This Wind Waker being on the Switch Online thing is that's a big of course this is how they're doing it.
That was kind of a letdown to me.
Yeah, Wind Waker HD is stuck on Wii U. That's it. It's over.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
It had good quality of life shit.
Good quality of life upgrades, and they're not going to be in this version. Period.
Sucks.
Don't expect them to be.
No, this is a pure emulation.
Twilight Princess is also probably going to show up.
That's
which also means maybe
it has to.
Maybe we will show up.
It could,
but
I could see it.
Yeah, I could see it too.
Wii almost makes more sense to me than GameCube.
Yeah, I mean, if it were up to me, I would have done Wii and GameCube in one thing because the emulator is probably the same.
Yeah,
probably be
same
very
hardware.
Similar. Yeah. But
Twilight Princess is the last game for them to have every Zelda game, though.
Yeah. Yep.
So it has to.
Yeah.
Actually, so does Four Swords Adventures.
Oh yeah. Actually, Four Swords Adventures
can come now with. How would they do the? I wonder if they have something built in for that. Like maybe it just pops up on top of the screen or something.
Maybe.
Is that how they did it for? No, I'm making things up.
It would be cool if they just re-released the game and let you do the fucking game share and shit. Play it the real way. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles needs a retry too.
That's pretty funny.
Because that version that came out,
but the definitive version
of Crystal Chronicles,
yeah,
the version that came out in 2020,
yeah,
that was on phones and Switch and console.
Yeah,
they need to just give that another shot and do it
with just the original version.
Not with the original version. They need to re-release it with the features that Switch 2 has. Streaming it to other
right. Soul Calibur was very
Soul
funny.
Calibur 2
that was really strange.
Crazy. That's cool as shit. They were like, we need the Link version.
Yeah.
Never been re-released before like this.
Yeah.
That was
one crazy. Just wildly good. Good. But again, it still makes me think Pikmin. We have definitive versions of Pikmin 1 and 2. Are those going to come to this? And they would be glaring omissions if they didn't. It'd be strange
if they weren't part of the thing, but
GameCube launch games, new IP that was dedicated to GameCube.
Yeah.
They are GameCube. They're almost the mascots of GameCube.
That was definitely made before the idea to do this.
Of course,
really was solidified.
Which is why it's such a higher fans thing. It's good, but it's also so weird.
Yeah,
it's so it's such a confused strategy.
Right, those games aren't old, you know? So the re-releases, I mean.
Yeah.
Delta Rune 1, 2, 3, 4, that's cool.
People have been waiting for 3 and 4 for fucking ever. Yeah. And seeing it in Switch 2, it's one of the many third-party flexes that Nintendo made in this presentation, where they're just here you go, boys.
This is it. Oh, no, you want to talk about flex? We have a flex to talk about.
Oh, yes,
later.
we do.
It's a very funny one.
Crazy shit. I know what you're talking about already.
Yeah, the 2K stuff. Borderlands 4 confirmed for Switch. That's cool.
Mouse mode. What is this?
That's where the US stream froze.
Oh,
that's why
it says F to switch to stream. Yeah. Yeah, I was listening to it in the car driving to work.
Oh, yeah.
So I would be glancing at stoplights. And so I kind of noticed it and I assumed it was just my phone.
No.
And I was just fuck.
Everybody, it was everybody.
What a
it was that
blunder. Holy shit.
Yeah. You could jump to another language stream and catch up anyway, but Cyberpunk.
Funny.
That's funny as shit.
Are you going to give it another try?
I played it all the way through.
Yeah, but you didn't do any of the side shit, which is where the meat is.
This is cool, though.
It is cool.
I think the game existing from 2020
it's a great
to now,
handheld game.
Yeah,
the structure of the game.
They've had the chance to work it out, too.
Yeah.
And people know what to expect from it now.
Right.
So the game doesn't have that shit on it.
Yeah.
It's now you're getting this version on Switch 2, which is complete and playable, handheld, playable, whatever, and technically up to par.
Yep.
With the other versions.
All right. This is a weird one.
This is weird. And it's weird for me, too, because I'm not going to get it.
No.
Because I have a version of it I can play on my fucking Voblasting PC.
Oops, sorry.
But no, it's not your fault.
It is my fault.
It's not. I mean, it's your fault I have it. It's not your fault this happened.
Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade on Switch 2. They did say, look forward to more updates on the 7 Remake project for Switch 2. They didn't say Rebirth was coming.
They didn't explicitly say Rebirth was coming, but my expectation is that it will be a late port.
Yeah, I mean, Rebirth is very, very demanding.
Exactly. Like, it's demanding on people's PCs, it's demanding on
PS5. Yeah.
What I think is that they're going to create a version that works.
Yeah.
But
cloud version?
No. Get it?
It's over. Turn the stream on.
But look. I think what's going to happen again with the Switch 2 being a specific console is not the PC version being dumped onto Steam Deck.
Yeah, they have to optimize it.
Specific version.
Nintendo Switch 2 edition.
Yeah, and I think it like the way Nintendo has worked with Square Enix on certain games like Dragon Quest 11 things like that. Kind of sad I didn't see Dragon Quest 12 today. But
you were never going to see Dragon Quest 12 today.
But seeing that makes me think Nintendo might be able to help to give them the documentation they need to make a version of Rebirth that runs acceptably on Switch 2.
Yeah.
And
frankly, I'm sure they can get it to run acceptably, and I think it's probably worth having it in that version.
Yeah.
And accessible on this platform.
Yeah.
It also makes me wonder, like, they basically have to have all 3 then.
Yeah, right. That's what
they can't not have the third part.
Which then the third part, will that be a simultaneous release? Will
exactly.
It be,
raises a lot of questions.
Yeah, and seeing these third-party games, damn, like the Switch 2 has 256 gigabytes of onboard storage, which is 8 times more than the original Switch, but that's not really saying much. Because that was 32.
That's nothing.
256 gigabytes is not enough.
It's nothing.
You're going to need to expand the memory.
It's the same relative to when the Switch came out.
Sure.
It's whatever.
But I think like they're so close to having enough to just not have to expand
It's enough for first party. Because first party, they optimize the shit out of it.
It's enough for first party, but they
I think that's all they care about.
That's all they really give a shit about. But at the same time, what the fuck was I trying to say? It's enough for first party, but it's almost there where you don't feel like you need it initially, but you do. You do. Yeah. If you play anything other than those initial games, you need it.
Other than Mario Kart and DK.
Yeah, like even Street Fighter 6 is 50 gigabytes.
I'm surprised it's only 50.
Yeah, that's cut down from. I think that's cut down from where it is.
I thought it was 80.
It has all the DLC and shit too. Yeah. But
then huge shadow micro announcement.
Yeah, oh my god.
That they actually acknowledged that Silk Song is coming out on Switch 2 in this year.
2025. They wrote 2025, not coming soon or anything. And
that spoke volumes.
A microsecond of that fucking game.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know why they did it that way.
Because it's a meme at this point. Because they're fucking winking left and right in this fucking presentation at all the gamers, all the people that are too fucking online for their own good. That's what it was about.
Hopefully that game turns out well for the people that are interested in it. Kunitsu coming out on Switch? That's perfect. That game is a handheld game. That's what I thought when I played the demo.
Yeah.
Like, this works. This is good. Wild Hearts S, it looks cool. I'm
not going to touch it.
Fast Fusion, getting another Fast RMX game is funny as shit. Especially with F-Zero GX coming on it. When I saw this, I was going to try to say something to you, but I never got to it. Boring ass looking fucking game to me. It's a nice looking game. Fun. It's cool that it's on Nintendo Switch.
It is very cool. Yeah.
Like
it's
Star
very
Wars,
cool.
Ubisoft, open world game.
It's probably an easier way to play it because, again, similar to like Cyberpunk or Assassin's Creed, like these games that are like open world, like go and do this one task.
Yeah, you go do a task, like, you turn it off.
That's what I want. And that's hard to do on PC and Steam Deck. Like, I don't like sleeping something in the middle of a game on Steam Deck. It just like it not
feels
built
like it doesn't
for
work
it.
Right.
Yeah. So this native compatibility on Switch 2, it's like we know it's going to go on sale for 90% off because it's Ubisoft. So might pick it up again for Switch 2.
For a lot of money.
Ridge Racer for Switch 2 is pretty fucking
Arcade
funny.
Archives, that's extremely funny to me.
I would like to play it.
Yeah, like just because it's like this, and part of me thinks they did that as like a nod to the PSP situation. Ridge Racer.
Yeah.
Like, because this is a, new handheld console.
Yeah.
Dustbloods.
Now this was their biggest dick swinging moment of the entire stream.
Yeah, this is like helicoptering that shit in your face.
The fucking third-party kings of development that just basically got bought by Sony. Their parent company was, at least.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if they got bought straight up, but they have like a massive stake
in there. Yeah.
Now having exclusive Nintendo Switch 2 game.
Like, at least for the time being, exclusive. It's not out till 2026.
Right.
But there's an exclusive FromSoft game from Miyazaki. Directed by Miyazaki.
These are the actual fucking kings of video game development right now. They Sekiro won Game of the Year 2019, Elden Ring won Game of the Year 2022. 23?
Was it 3?
Can't remember.
No, 23 was the year. I don't think. What the fuck won it?
Might have been 21 even.
Oh, well, it wasn't 23. It wasn't 21. It was not 21. But 2020, it was 22. Because 23 is when Baldur's Gate got it in 2022. Like, I remember it was Tears of the Kingdom and Baldur's Gate, just like, what the fuck? Which one? Yeah.
But they're no longer like, oh, haha, funny, hard game. It's like everyone's fucking playing these fucking video games and talking about them.
Yeah.
So
this is a fucking multiplayer game.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, vampire looking ass shit. I was like, is this guy something? But
it's some huge shit. He's going to have an article out in 2 days, which will be really interesting to read.
Yeah.
Just kind of his take on the situation.
Like this is buck wild. For real.
That was, I could not believe the exclusive sling there. Just even having the ability to announce a new FromSoft game alone would have been a big fucking
thing. Like, they could have just said Night Rain and that would have been it.
Yeah, I thought it was Night Rain.
I was like, oh, Night Rain is going to be on Switch. Perfect.
And then they faked everyone out by thinking Smash was coming.
They even did the cross, like the lights and shit while Kirby was falling.
Sakurai knows what he's doing.
Yeah, Kirby, he's clearly tired of Smash Bros. Right now. He doesn't want to fuck with that fucking shit. Kirby Air Riders. It's cool that Masahiro Sakurai is back making a Kirby game.
I wish he were making another Kid Icarus game,
especially with the mice.
Yes, with the fucking mice, dude. Why?
I think.
Why?
I don't care much
Just
about
put it on GameCube.
Yeah.
We now have the way to do it.
Yeah. And it would have online play there, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You can do fucking City Escape to your heart's content.
Yeah, City Trial.
Whatever it's called.
But Kirby Air Riders as an idea is great. I'm glad people are going to have that. I don't really care about Air Ride. I think it's a game for babies.
It is a game for babies.
It's a game for literal Google.
It's like babies. He took his approach of let me deconstruct a fighting game, put it back in simple pieces that anybody can access, and did it to a racing game. Yeah. Except it just doesn't really work that way.
You do it with a racing game, your interactions with other players are the things that are supposed to elevate the experience, but you don't really have that in a racing game, especially if you pull ahead. Right. So that's why people gravitate to City Trial, which then probably could have just been released as its own game, like as its own little
game. Plus, Nintendo already has that with Mario Kart.
Yeah,
like it is just an unnecessary project.
Yeah, it's. I don't want to say unnecessary. I don't want to think of it like that, but I'm glad it made people happy.
And then my hot shit.
Yeah, see, there you go.
My hot daddy. The first 3D Donkey Kong game since Donkey Kong 64.
26 years ago.
I remember buying the strategy guide in November of 1999. And my parents were like, why are you buying that? And I was like, because I know I'm getting the game for Christmas. And I fucking did. And that game kind of sucked ass. But that's okay. You know what? I had fun in 1999.
I enjoyed it.
I've been waiting
I have memories of Thanksgiving with that. So
I have been waiting decades for a new 3D Donkey Kong. New model. It's the fucking movie model. Rare is dead. Long live the king. Long live Rare. We're moving on.
Funny enough, though, a lot of things created by Rare are in this game, like Espresso.
Well, I mean, it has to be.
That's
his history.
Point. But this game looks fucking tight.
Looks so tight.
The world deformation is cool as shit to me.
It reminded me of Wario World. Just Wario games in general. It seems like they're taking some cues from that.
Yeah, maybe.
But
I think this, and leading their 3D platformer for launch period is a Donkey Kong game.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's a crazy fucking card to play. I think getting this fresh new Donkey Kong into people's eyes again might create a new era of people that have attachment to.
Please do this. Please give me a sequel to Tropical Freeze or a new platforming 2D game, which has got 2D elements.
Yeah, it's got
I'm excited for that. I'm good for it. I'm very excited for this game. I want the Donkey Kong revival. Give me more Donkey Kong games. I love Donkey Kong games.
Like a full situation where we get a 3D and a 2D Donkey Kong game, and
give it to me.
And then we get
into my fucking veins.
And then Donkey Kong Racing actually comes out. That's not happening.
That's not happening.
But this is cool.
It's gonna come on the GameCube app.
Yeah,
fucking something like that.
So that's all of the game announcements specifically.
The game announcements were great.
They were great. There's some stuff in there that I'm really excited about. Funny enough, it's like playing old Switch games in a new way.
Yeah.
Is really exciting to me because I haven't played
that's the shit that Nintendo has always been really good at, is finding ways to dust the dust off of its old shit and make it feel new again.
But, I mean, even the stuff I have.
Yeah, no,
I can like play it with higher performance and everything without having to go through weirdos making emulators and shit.
Exactly.
So I'm really excited for the hardware, especially. I think these games are clearly like launch games.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what comes next. Like Donkey Kong looks great. Metroid Prime 4 is fucking Metroid Prime 4. The higher fidelity Zelda games. Everything they showed, I think, is exactly what they needed to show for this first presentation. Especially if they're intending to talk about it more within the next month. Yeah. Especially with the Mario Kart Direct and the Treehouse stuff.
It's clear that they've got more than enough shit to last them through this year into the good part of next year.
Yeah.
Which is always nice.
Yeah.
Switch 1 didn't really have that.
Switch 1 didn't have that. Switch 1's first year, though, was nicely stacked.
It was. I mean, all of the years of Switch were well stacked.
I think
a lot of the things they promised were a little too far out.
Yeah, 2017, crazy. Then we started to get consistently got things.
Yeah.
But those big spikes were not
a lot of Wii U ports.
A lot of Wii U ports. If you hadn't played Wii U, you probably felt different about it. But now Switch 2 has just Switch games. You can get the Switch games, so they can't really do that the same way they did,
Right. And the less games thing is also just going back to the very beginning, how Nintendo Switch 2 is now sort of the fucking premier premium priced offering compared to your Steam Decks and your PC handhelds, where you're going to be getting a lot of new games for very cheap.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see how not this first year goes, but the second and third and fourth year.
So, and a lot of these PC handhelds release at really high prices. You'll get they'll be $1,000 and shit like that.
Some of them.
So even some of them, but enough of them that it's.
I mean, no one will beat the Steam Deck.
Being
$400.
Exactly. And I want to see what the Steam Deck does.
The Steam Deck 2?
Next. Are they going to...
They've said they've been waiting for a very particular hardware upgrade.
Yeah, it's probably battery.
It probably is. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. And I'm curious to see, Steam Deck in general, I think for the low amount of them that they've made, it's done well.
It's done exactly what I think they wanted it to do.
It's definitely it's in people's thoughts, even if thoughts and prayers. It's in people's, people talk about it even if they don't have it.
Right.
That's more than they could say for those Steam consoles, and especially for the controller. No one was talking about that controller. But I think that what I saw of Switch 2, fantastic. I want one now. I want that shit now. I want to play the games that I'm playing right now. I want to play it on it.
Yes.
I'm not going to dunk. I'm still amazed by the original Switch. Like I said earlier, it's still crazy that game runs the games.
And that's also why I don't think Switch 2 is going to be nearly as successful.
Yeah.
After what I've seen, because of how miraculous the Switch was. And the fact that they did this miraculous shit. All the Monolith Soft is always the perfect example, but they did all this miraculous shit and they didn't fucking talk about the techie shit.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and you can play the things on the thing, and it's going to be fine.
Yeah, and they knew at that point, especially with Satoru Iwata having been around a little bit while they were working on it, they knew then that they couldn't do that. They did that same shit with the Wii, where Iwata literally was on stage and the graphics will make you say, well, GameCube, sorry. But I think this time, they do acknowledge that people are... a lot of people talk about the performance is just not where we want it to be. And I think clarifying that it will be, it will be suitable in those ways, especially for the games that people may have skipped.
Yeah.
For now, I think that was solid messaging because that's the kind of people that are watching a Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, that's true.
Trickling out the information on their website then today, and like the big like you said, gamers, the fans of the stuff that are paying attention to this kind of thing, see it and they're like, oh, okay, this is obviously an improvement. And just didn't want to talk about the price again, but talking about price stuff, then you have a situation where you're going to need to convey that to just regular ass people. And they'll see the 2 and they'll probably understand like this is a better thing. Yeah. But those same people might be like, oh, well, I don't need to upgrade my phone every year. Why would I upgrade this? Even though they've been using the Switch since 2007.
The phone, they kind of do upgrade every year.
A lot of people do upgrade every year, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people will stretch their phones for like
I think that's almost a minority, if I had to guess.
One way or the other. Look, what I'm trying to get at is convincing people that it's time to get this thing, and that it's objectively better than the thing they already have, especially if they've bought a Switch recently,
right?
Because they've still sell limited editions and the OLED and everything relatively. You can on the shelf right now. You can get a box with Mario Wonder stuff on it. Get a Switch and just play it.
Yep.
And no one's buying that to just have it for 2 months,
right?
You know. So maybe someone is, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's part of why they're keeping Switch 1 in the loop. It's getting new games. It's getting compatibility, like streaming compatibility with the what's it called? I think we're gonna have a PS4, PS5 situation.
Yeah.
Where we're gonna continue to get Switch 1 games, and some games are gonna be made for Switch 1, but because Switch 2 is backward compatible, you just get it that way.
Right.
Like the Marvel Collection on PS4, that's how you get it on PS5.
Yep.
Things like that. But I'm really excited to have a Switch 2. I'm excited to use a Switch 2. I'm excited to hold it. I'm excited to play a lot of games on it. Even if it's not the most popular system, it's still Switch.
Right.
And I still have the access to the Switch library, and that's my favorite console
in the definitive way you can access it.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's how I feel about it today.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's good. I'll be buying one because I have a lot of disposable income.
Gotta tell everybody that. Speaking of flex. But yeah.
No, I've got a job to do to report the facts to our fans. We're journalists, and we have to have journalistic integrity. We got to stay ahead of the forefront, the cutting edge.
All right. I should have done that with her so long. No hire fans today.
Nintendo hired all the fans.
Nintendo hired the fans
to curate their fucking stream.
Yeah.
All right, you like this shit? We've been going on almost 2 hours.
Oops.
You like this shit? Give us a like, comment, subscribe. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and YouTube.
Yes.
Send us an email at memoryleakpodcast@gmail.com. And until next time, gamers.